Hi, welcome again to this week's live, the lockdown. And this week we go to Canada and we would like to welcome Stacey from Canada. Hi, Stacey.
Hello, hi, how are
Hi,
you?
I'm good. Welcome to the lockdown. So,
Thank you for having me.
no problem at all. So, just as we discussed, just a few questions. So, tell us a little more about your business, how you're navigating during the lockdown in terms of still being able to do work and promote the business during this time.
Yes, so I am a bridal seamstress. I'm in the wedding industry and I have been in the industry for over 5 years doing alterations, bridal alterations specifically. So with the lockdown, I can't see any of my current clients or nor can I, have fittings one-on-one with my new clients. So it's been quite the transition. So what I've done is like I've have dresses that I've already fitted. So I've been working on those and there's lots to work on. So I've been working the entire time from home. And then with certain clients, I'm able to do contact free pickups. So I schedule a date and a time. I hang the dress just outside the door. They just come in and grab the dress from me and try it on at home. So that's been kind of the way I've been doing things so far. And then I've been doing a lot more online promotion, um, posting like videos, how to, properly measure or photos, questions, posting old photos of brides that have sent pictures into me and things like that. So,
And I know
yeah.
you had mentioned something about doing online fittings as well because you still have brides
Yes.
that want to get married and they still need their dresses, but you cannot operate from your shop. So how are you doing that?
So I just started doing that because I had a client reach out to me. Her wedding is still later this year, and she was wondering about a quote on like how much the alteration would be, so she could budget out accordingly. So I've been doing virtual fittings. So we set up a date and time, and we just meet online. They'll try the dress on for me, and then I can see the dress on them, and it gives me a good idea of like I've been doing this a long time, so I'm pretty good at just kind of like looking at the dress on you, and I'm like, okay, this needs to be done. And I'm familiar with a lot of the different materials, laces, beading, and dress designers, so I kind of know how the dresses are are made and put together, so I can really get a good sense of how much is going to be and how much time we're going to need. So that really kind of helps the bride get an idea of price and then keeps her, calm because she knows we've got a plan. We can make an assess from there and then kind of hopefully we can get back to work and I can actually see her and fit her.
So let's say you have an incident where you did a fitting via virtually and drop it off after your client tried it at home. There is still moderation or modification that needs to be done. How do you deal with that?
That's a good question. I've actually had a couple of those scenarios. Most of them have been pretty good, so that's great. Haven't had to do any adjustments, but I did get a call or a text from a bride. So we did quite a bit of work on her dress, so it would have been best if I could see her, but we couldn't in this instance.
Yeah,
So I sent her home with the dress. She tried it on, and it was just a little bit snug still. So she just sent me pictures of how the dress looked on her, and I was able to look at the picture and see how much I needed to adjust. And then she just dropped it back off. I did the adjustment and let her know when it was ready. She picked it up and then tried it back on, and I got a nice happy message that everything fit perfect.
that's excellent. So that even though the country is in a lockdown, because you all are in a lockdown as well, you still are able to work and deliver to your clients from your industry.
Yeah, and it's a little different. And like when we're passing the dress back and forth, I'm using precautions, making sure that I'm, not touching my face while I'm working on the dress. I'm washing my hands. I'm sanitizing the bag and the hanger um, while I'm working with those things. So um, we're finding a way around and navigating through this interesting time. So yeah, it's kind of neat. But I do miss the one-on-ones with people, but it'll happen soon enough.
So in social media, what means of social media do you find is your best channel to advertise your product?
Yeah, it's a great question. To be honest with you, Instagram is my best channel. I have a lot of clients that follow me and see my tips or see my suggestions about products, and I tend to get a lot of business through Instagram, a lot of word of mouth, and then of course, yeah, through my clients and word of mouth through them. But online Instagram seems to be my number one for kind of branching out for bridal and new clients. So yeah, I've been doing that.
So if you say, do you find yourself using social media a lot more now, or do you used to use it just as much, or you use it a lot more during this time?
To be honest with you, I'm using it more now during this time because I have the time to. I'm not as busy during bridal season. It tends to be an extremely um, time sensitive, demanding time. So I'm always sewing, working on my hands. So the social media aspect tends to take a backseat. So I've been kind of using this time to create content as much as I can. And so that when I do get busy again, I've got content to keep kind of pushing out easily so that I can keep focused on the work, and that's all done.
And you would say that since you're more active on social media, Instagram, to be more specific, that it has kept your business afloat and you are able to continue working and assisting clients.
Yeah, exactly. So because of the online, like just keeping me relevant, keeping I'm able to answer brides' questions and correspond to or communicate with them through Instagram. I get lots of messages. So I've got lots of future clients booked through the Instagram because they'll, my wedding's later on, or they're curious, different questions. So they'll message me through Instagram, and then I can book them for appointments later on in the season. So that's great.
Well, that is quite excellent that using
Yeah.
social media even more is actually increasing your clientele and giving you a lot more exposure because
Yeah, I think
sometimes,
people are online more too. They're they got a little more downtime, so they're scrolling a little more. So I get more follows and things like that.
right, so it really shows the importance of during this time to increase your social media presence and have a regular posting schedule so that you're still out there and business can still reach out to you. So that post-COVID, you can still, you can have new clientele as well as your existing clientele. But tell me, what kind of plans you have for your company for post-COVID? How do you see things after COVID? Because I know there's a lot of economic disruption. So far, we see worldwide economies are breaking down, stock markets are going low. I mean, what
It's definitely, yeah, it's definitely going to be different. Like I've had a lot like of clients that I've already fitted contact me and have to postpone until next year. I have had some that have postponed till later this year, and then I've had some that are going ahead with the wedding. Whether it's just the two of them and their officiant, then that's what they're going to do. So I think moving forward, I don't know. I feel like I'm still going to be pretty busy. Maybe not as busy as I might have been in previous years, but still quite busy um, because you still need a dress. And moving forward, I think that um, initially, like, everyone's going to have to wear a mask, and sometimes during fittings, I have like several people at the fitting with the bride. So moving forward, I'm assuming probably would only just be the bride, maybe one other guest, but I'm going to offer virtual fittings. So the bride could be here with me. We could be doing the fitting, but she can also FaceTime her mother or her grandmother, just so it's safer for them, so they can still be a part of it, but be at a safe distance so that they're safe at home but still part of the fitting in that process because it is a special moment for a bride. And it's nice to see those relationships through that process, mother-daughter relationship or grandmother or friend, It's so I think we're going to try to make it as normal as possible, but also respect the social distancing rules that we have here.
Yep, because I know despite a lot of economies reopening, you still have that limit of how many persons can congregate at one
Yes.
location. And that's really good that you're making allowance that brides, parents, and grandparents can still be involved in that sitting virtually. That's
Yeah.
really, really, really good. That's like a new market we have right there as well.
Yes. Exactly.
So, Stacey, that's it. I don't know if you want to tell us anything else again and give us any more tips as to how persons, because I saw internationally, all can use the same mediums in order to keep our business afloat, keep it going. Do you have any tips, suggestions you want to share with our audience today?
Yeah. Like just there- there- we're very limited. So it's time to try to be creative and think of new ways, or even ways that you thought of before, but you just never had time to work on before with your business. Sometimes, especially business owners, we're so focused on serving the customer and doing things like that that we don't think about, social media and content and building your brand online. So I think those are really important. And the more that you're kind of a face online, it just keeps you relevant and keeps people interested. That so when things start to get back to normal, they're like, oh, I remember so and so, and they can get directly right to you.
So, Stacey, thank you so much for joining
Thank
us.
you. It's so nice to see you. Thank you
Take
for having me.
care, and we thank you for the tips, so early tips. And to our online audience, we want to thank you very much for joining us. As we have heard, that even though we are under lockdown, we can still do things to keep our business relevant, to keep our business to the forefront, to keep our business in the know. As we learned, Tracy was able to use Instagram, and through Instagram, she has gotten new clientele. And she actually has jobs booked for later on this year. So even post COVID, she can still work and use her time to use virtual media to have other parents and grandparents involved in this whole shipping procedure. So, Stacey, we want to thank you so much again. And we want to thank our live audience as well, those who sit in and listen. We thank you very much. So, I am Kaisa from the Lockdown. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye now.
Bye. Yes, Stacey. So, how that went?
That was so good. You're so